Hey guys, this is a quick Sanctified rabbit trail concerning some of my favorite books on apologetics. Now, these books aren't about apologetics per se. What I mean is that you will grow in your apologetic endeavors if you know this information that's in these books. I'll have several of these types of Sanctified rabbit trails, but right now I got 5 books for you. The first one is C.S. Lewis. It's A Grief Observed. It's a great book. This would be like under the category of personal apologetics, dealing with the loss of loved ones. It's a really powerful book. I think it's great. Now again, it's going to be very limited in the scope in which you could utilize this for apologetics, but if anything, you will grow spiritually from this. Another one, one of Doc's books, The God Who Sits Enthroned. I think this was the first book that I've ever read of his. It goes through all the basic stuff that we're going to be going through, but it's succinct. It's not too big, but great book. It's one of my favorite books of all time. As you can tell, I've gone through it a couple times. Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. He just does a great case for Christianity. He posits his axiological argument in this. It's a legit book. Augustine's Confessions. Augustine is my favorite analytic philosopher. He was medieval. He was probably the most significant Christian thinker after the Apostle Paul. Just brilliant, brilliant. He has an axiological argument as well as some very interesting stuff in here. Now again, this one will kind of get you thinking, but this will help you in your apologetic endeavors. And it's really interesting. I think this is a good book as an introduction to philosophy. I remember the first time I read this book, I finished a section and I realized, whoa, that was metaphysics. But he talks about these things in such a fluid way that you don't realize that it's actually something as deep as metaphysics. So this is definitely a legit book worth picking up. And finally, this is the Apostolic Fathers. This is a huge apologetic tool. This is these guys were like the disciples of the disciples. So you can see, you have Polycarp, Ignatius, all these different guys, and they studied directly from the apostles. And they start writing at like the end of the 1st century all the way through the 2nd century, and they quote the majority of the New Testament in this book. So now you have some, like, Robert Price says that the New Testament wasn't written until deep into the 2nd century, and I'm like, well, how did these guys quote a book that hadn't been written for 100 years? So this is a great apologetic tool. It's really, really good. So there's 5 books right there. We'll do one of these Sanctified rabbit trails every so often. God bless you guys. Continue to defend the faith, and God bless you.